Guys, we are going to be doing a bus route. Haven't done one of these in a while. I'll show you the route we're going to do. We are on the Jungle Island map. We're going to be doing the 1T Observatory route, which is a pretty long route. So that should be really interesting and a whole lot of fun. We have the good old Wentworth DT 40L 40-foot bus and strict stops are turned on, so I will have to kneel the bus, raise it, and all that fun stuff. So let's go ahead and get going. Okay, guys, we are on the bus. We're at the start of our route down here in the industrial area. We're going to click the start button, and we're going to get ready and go here. So put the bus in gear, and that's our first stop. So go ahead and make sure we're clear. We'll swing it over one way. We're just going to swing it back. My steering wheel just broke loose. That stop looks abandoned. Stop, park and brake, kneel, and go ahead and open the doors. And there we go. Wait, three remaining passengers, two. Ha 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 ha, you're actually simulating passengers are on the bus. All right, we'll go ahead and release our brakes, put the bus in gear, and away we go. Next stop, the Western Viewpoint. So this looks like a pretty nice tight turn here. All right. Nobody coming. Use it out till I know, okay, we're clear, we're clear. And away we go, up the hill, to our next stop, to the Western Viewpoint. So, come on. Yeah, this thing can't really decide what gear it wants to be in because this is a pretty steep hill. I have my foot all the way down to try to get us up this hill. And the bus is doing okay. This is very sketchy because this road is somewhat narrow. I wish my mirrors worked. That way I could see exactly where the rear axle is, make driving in first person in this thing so much more easier and a lot more fun, in my opinion. But God, doing this, it kind of reminds me back when I was driving the transit buses. That was so much fun. All right, is this the stop? There it is. All right. We're going to signal in, start slowing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, a little bit of game lag. That's okay. Neutral. Park and brake on. Kneel it and hit the doors. Wait a few seconds. 3, 2, 1. Alright. Hit both. Hazards off. Park and brake off. Put it in gear. We are clear. Release the brakes. Give it a little bit of gas and away we go. Since there's no AI traffic, I just look. Technically, we're good to go. And I just look and go. Alright. Lightly ride the brakes, just enough that in real life I'd have the retarders keeping the bus speed under control, because we don't want to go too fast around some of these corners. That is a recipe for disaster. Because at least the buses I drove, they had retarders on them, which was a type of transmission brake that would it would actually really help slow the vehicle down without wearing the service brakes too much, the regular brake pads and shoes that were on the vehicles. So, oh, come on. This is just a gorgeous view, some of these overlooks. Very dangerous, too, because you'd think there'd be some sort of guardrail. Because some of those ravines, you go off, you are a goner. There is no looking back. Here we go. All right. And a 40-foot long bus like this, ooh. I'm taking up almost the entire road. Oy. Very interesting. Very, very intensive. Again, I really wish I had a mirror. I mean, these look like they'd just be regular mirrors, not the not little blind spot mirrors like you'd have in American Truck Simulator, which is okay. I mean, it is what it is. A mirror would be better than nothing. Okay, we should be coming up to our next stop, the southern viewpoint. Yep, we are. There it is. Right over there. All right. Bring it in nice and slow. Neutral, park, kneel it and hit the doors. Turn our hazards on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on. Go faster. Go faster. Please. Okay. Thanks. Bye. All right. Release the parking brake. Put it in drive. And we're clear to pull out. So we do so. Next stop, Southern Beach. Cool beans. So I hope you guys are doing well this evening. I'm doing pretty well myself. Oh, whoa, come on. Slow her down, slow her down, slow her down, slow her down. 20 miles an hour. They going way too fast. If you can hear the tires screaming, you're going way too fast for this. This is supposed to be slow, smooth, easy on, easy. At least once you're rolling, you could floor it. Once you have some momentum, you can start to accelerate harder. The more momentum you have. Braking, you don't have that same luxury. You have to be very gentle when easing on the brakes to make sure you don't throw people around. So you really don't like jerk the wheel back and forth. You really don't floor it, floor the accelerator, floor the brakes, floor the accelerator, floor the brakes. That's not really how it works. At least that's not how it's supposed to work. I'm sure there are plenty of drivers that do that from where I'm from and elsewhere. So, unfortunately, that is what it is. Now that we're on regular road, see, it feels like the road has widened some. That should make life a little easier. Accelerate a little bit more. Ride the brakes, nice and smooth. All right, here we go. Some of these corners just look so tight. I'd love to see how bad I'm crossing the yellow line with the rear axle. I'm not going in the third-person view to figure it out. Let's see. There you go. Okay, looking good, looking good. Okay, doing... The transmission in this thing, it seems to shift a lot more than the buses would. They were more willing to get into a certain gear and stay there. But that's okay. All right, and here's our next stop. Southern Beach. So pull in. All right. Kneel it. Open the doors. Put it in neutral. 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's release parking brake. Hazards off. Left blinker on. Into drive. And away we go. And yes, I am saying it right. And when you go into drive, if you look right there, you see RND. You press D and it will actually indicate what gear you're in while you're driving. That's how a lot of... I was gonna say, I think there's only 2 buses in the fleet that I drove didn't have that, and they were really old, and it was a more of a physical push button, and when you press D, it just that button, it lit up saying, "Hey, you are actually in drive." Whereas the others, they had a little display like this. And fun fact, you could use the up arrow and down arrows to limit the highest gear you could go in. Almost like a manual-esque, but it would you would just set the high gear and the transmission would not go any higher. So if you locked it in, you could lock it in first. If you're in a snowy area and you really didn't want that transmission to get to shift in a second or third, or third over, or fourth, then you wouldn't. So, and yes, I did say third over. If I remember right, the buses, they were a 6-speed, but they had an overdrive on 3rd gear. So, technically a 7-speed? I don't know. I don't know how those transmissions operated that well. All I know is they were Allison transmissions, and they were okay for the most part. Alrighty, Bunker Beach. Right up to the stop. Kneel it, pop the doors, and let's get some people on board. 40-foot long bus. All right. Put it in gear, signal that I'm departing, and away we go. Next stop, Airport North. That'll be interesting. Are we actually going on to the runway or whatever? This will be interesting. Looking forward to that. But definitely using all the power this engine has to get up the hill. There we go. Okay. Slow down, because this is... Okay. Okay. Did not like the sound of that. Alright, looks like we got a sharp corner here. Ride the brakes, slow it down. Oh, this is lovely. Looks like a mudslide took out part of the road. We'll just take it nice and slow. And away we go, we're through it. So, Oh boy. Oh, I just realized. I just realized. I said in my last video I would explain why I disappeared, and I never did. I am terrible. I'm sorry. I actually recorded an American Truck Simulator video explaining it, but when I was proofing it before I upload, I honestly just didn't. The video was fine. I just didn't really like it. So I ended up scrapping it. So that means you guys unfortunately will not see that video because it's not going to see the light of day outside of my computer's hard drive, and actually will most likely get deleted off my hard drive. Just spiraling up the mountain on roads I've never even driven on. I've driven on this map a lot in my police videos, but I've never been in. I don't think I've ever been up here. Oh wow, that is beautiful. God, I'm high up. If this bus falls off, we're dead. Where was I? Oh yes, why did I disappear? So, two things. Um, I work in the. I'm a software developer, and the industry that I create software for has an annual has conferences throughout the year. Um, and one of the biggest ones this was in November, right before Thanksgiving, and I've done it. I've had to deal with that before, and oh come on, and it's never. It's usually in April and November, and usually during that time, it's crunch time. Get as much as you can that's been on the docket done, done right. Get it tested, get it ready to be deployed shortly after the holidays. And so that's nothing new. I've been working at this company about 2.5 years now. Nothing new. But what was new is actually two things. One, I had taken some extra responsibilities at work, and that was stressing me out a little bit. But the biggest one is in November I got married. So married my now wife, girlfriend of almost 7 years, and yeah, so we had been doing a lot of planning. In October it was just starting to get real stressful, so right before Halloween I put out that one video, and I was just like, you know what, I need a break. So I took a break. I'm still really tired from everything. Like later this month, her and I are going on our honeymoon, and I'm just a week away from everybody. I have to take my laptop that I work on only because I'm a product owner. So it's like if something happens that's critical, I have to be on call. Otherwise, I would not be taking that. Would not be taking almost any technology other than my cell phone. So, and of course cameras, because I mean, it where we're gonna want to document it for the family and everything, and all that fun stuff. Um, wow, you could tell that some of this road is not in the greatest of condition. Holy crap. But anyway, yeah, that's where I've been. I'm starting to feel my old self come back a little bit. The stress is going away. There's new stressors, but those are right now nobody's business except mine. So, in due time, they'll come out if I feel that they should, like if they're going to impact the videos. So, my one of my big New Year's resolution is to try to really get some content for you guys. Some better, more quality content for you guys. So yeah, I just said that. Duh. But yeah, that's my resolution. That and lose more weight. And that one I should be able to do because I lost about 40 pounds this past year. So I'm definitely sure I can get another 40, 50 pounds off if I put my mind to it, continue to exercise, continue to eat right. So that will be awesome. Oh, we have to be coming up to the airport north stop some point. Where the hell? Golly. Wow. Breathtaking views. The road's so dangerously close to crumbling. You saw where that was, but wow. I don't think they would have a 40-foot bus on a route like this if this was like a real map in real life that had real transit system and everything. I would most likely only run 30-foot buses, maybe 35s if it was warranted. Other than that, I'd most likely, the biggest I'd run would be 30. And even then, I'd most likely just run the smaller extended shuttle vans that can carry 20, 25 people, because this is ridiculous. 40-foot bus navigating through some of this is very interesting. I wish I could see how interesting. I'm still stuck up on the mirrors thing, but that's a BeamNG thing. It's okay. I think I know where I'm at. Okay, cool. If I go that way, there's a tunnel that way, and I can get to the observatory, and actually close to where we started. But we are going this way, because whatever. But now this is nice and wide. We're not going up and down, so I can really open the bus up and just have to... Oh, don't want to go too fast. Open it up and I'll really make some time here. But of course, still being nice and smooth, because you don't want to be bouncing passengers around. Okay. Ah, here's Airport North. Airport North, next stop. Alright, nailed it, open the doors, and now I get to look at the back of these zebra seats. That's just lovely. Hey, oi, that guy didn't pay his fare. What the hell? Oh, he did. Alright, no problem. And we're good. Everybody's seated, and away we go. Next stop, Airport South. Oh, hit the wrong button. Oh gosh, funny, very funny story. This was from closer to the end of my bus driving career. I was called in to drive a route that went through 3 different towns in the area we provided service for. And I'm going, and oh gosh, give me a second to remember the details, because this was, 3 or 4 years ago. So the details are a little fuzzy. But when I picked that bus up, it had a center cap, but it had like this weird leatherette button. Like most of the buses had except for this one series had a plastic button. This had like a leatherette to make it look, I don't know what. But anyway, they were usually garbage. The leatherette would peel, and it would cause the horn to become inoperable. And well, it started peeling, and as I was driving, it would go ahead and peel up a little bit more, because the steering wheel doesn't sit in the same position as it would in a car. I had it a little farther forward than this, so it was more uh, not vertical but more horizontal. So when I was doing my steering, my arm would sometimes catch on that button. Next stop, medieval viewpoint. Um, and eventually I ended up knocking the button completely out, and the spring shot the button actually up into the air, which was at the time very shocking. Like, it shocked the living daylights out of me. Like, all of a sudden, pew! The thing went up. It's like, what the hell was that? Oh, slow down. Slow down. We're doing 30 on a very narrow road. But all's well that ends well. I reported it. They actually got me a new vehicle because it was the weekend shift, and it was easier just to get me a new route or a new bus than do anything else. So, got a new bus. All was good in the world, and so on and so forth. But there was I always had the weirdest things happen. Like, I had that happen. Um, Most of the transit buses have floor-mounted turn signals. You can kind of see them down there on the floor in this one. And your right foot would operate the gas pedal and the brake, and your left foot would operate your left blinker, your right blinker, as well as your high beams. And I mean, it's very convenient. You don't take your hands off the wheel while you're driving, and instead of this, you hit the blinker with your hand, and sometimes it doesn't click, and then you have to hit it again. You put your foot on the peg, press the button, and guess what? The blinker is going to operate. Unless a bulb's burnt out, but that's a bulb. Okay, we still have a little ways to go. So, and I actually had one of those switches wear out and break. Oh, here's the stop. Medieval viewpoint. What's all medieval about this? Hell if I know. So what stunk on that was I was on the highway on my way back to the garage for the night, and I still had, well, actually, no, I wasn't on my way back to the garage just yet. I still had to let's see, I had to go from the freeway from the major town back into the county, which is about 20 minutes on the freeway. Then I had I had three or four stops to make. Usually four. That evening I lucked out. I was able to get away with just the two. Oh, did I miss a turn? I missed a turn. Shit. This isn't good. Alright, I am braking immersion. Put in reverse. And we're just going to back it up. I can't believe I missed the turn. Yep, I was not paying a darn bit of attention. Alright, bring her back down, nice and slow. Go back into here. Put it in drive. Quit being a dum-dum and pay attention where you're supposed to go. Alright. So I got onto the freeway, and I felt something hit my leg, which is the button failing, because it's also a spring-mounted button. So you press down on it, you take your foot off, the button pops up, and the turn signal shuts off. So I took my foot off the button. I felt a pop as the button cap bounced off of my leg, and I was like, no big deal. Little did I know the button just fell apart. And later, I had just gotten on the freeway. I had to merge over one lane. I hit the button, went over the lane, took my foot off of the button, and I still hear the beep, 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 beep from the turn signal. I looked down and then I saw the turn signal had fallen apart, and it's like, well, that's just stinking lovely. That's not the words I used, but I also said them under my breath so the passengers didn't hear anything. So that was actually a very, very interesting phone call on the radio. Um, that I now no longer had a working left turn signal. I only had a right turn signal. Because I was able to reach down, I hit the button, and the window on that bus was not like this where it's a top opening, it was a slider. So luckily it was nice, I slid the window all the way forward so I could get my arm out the window. And I actually used hand signals even though my right turn signal and my brake still worked. I did the full gamut of hand signals. That way, um, I was consistent, so anybody that was behind me an ascertainable amount of distance, they realized, oh wait, he has a signal problem. He's doing the hand signals, like your arm straight out to the left to turn left, elbow at a right angle and pointing up for right. Same thing down when you're stopping. So that was interesting, but it ended up working out in the end. Uh, got the bus back to the garage. I ended up to be a little bit of a troll. I turned the blinker on, so also the people that fueled the bus up in the evening would realize, oh wait, there's a problem here, and just take the vehicle to maintenance, which they did. And it got a new turn signal switch, and then all is well that ends well. Oh, oh, jeez. Um, I don't like the look of that, so I'm just gonna take it nice and slow. All right, there we go. Oh golly, this is tight. A little bit of tire squeal because I had the wheel almost at full lock. All right. Okay. So, um, those were two very interesting ones. The oh right here. Oh, this must be the crater thing right there. Okay. Shit. I know what just happened. Alright, and we have to go into... Did I break anything? Nope, I just gave it a love tap. Alright. Oh, like I thought. This is a 40-foot bus. It is barely fitting. Holy crap. Yeah, needless to say, I actually just impressed myself because I've been really having a heck of a time with some of this. Alright. Mirrors would have really been able to tell me what was going on there, so. Okay. Nobody's coming, so swing wide. Definitely no place for a 40-foot bus. A 30 is most likely as long as I'd want on a route like this. 35 would be pressing it, but 40, it's working, but this is kind of crazy. Okay. Steam. That's not good. Okay. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. I haven't really been up here, so. Okay, there we go. Come around. Oh, that was a bit too hard, too quick. That happens from time to time. Golly, any other interesting bus stories? Ooh, I got a good one. I have a very, 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 very good one. So, um, while as a bus driver, I was in two different divisions. I was in the division that provided campus transportation for the local university, and then the last couple years, I was in the county division. And while I was actually when I was in both divisions, I was known as I was a trainer, driver trainer, and I would help implement the uh, the final phase of of a driver's training before they would go on route. And what that it sounds really cool, but all it is I did my normal day-to-day routes, both fixed route, which was a big bus, and flex route, which was a door-to-door, shuttle van that would go door to door from picking a customer up and taking them to their destination. In this final phase training would just be they would, instead of me running my route, they would drive the bus and I would make sure they were operating it in a safe manner. They were following all the rules and procedures set in place by the company, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. Well, when I was a university driver, we had an express route that went from the university to the next city over. Ideally enough, this is the same route that I had the turn signal failure on. But this was like far later. Uh, right before we got to the freeway, we had stopped to pick up a passenger. Okay, all fun and good. Uh, Driver puts the bus in gear, signals to pull away from the stop, and applies throttle. All of a sudden, there wasn't a loud banging started coming from the engine, and what Okay, so wait, am I supposed to go this way? I press the button to raise it up because I'm gonna need every ounce I got here. What this is dumb. You and nobody in their right mind would take a transit bus back in here. Okay, just take it easy. There we go, nice and slow. Why couldn't I have just stayed on the road? Oh, that's why. The road is gone. Okay, that's a good enough of an answer. All right, so anywho, as I lower the bus back down to a regular height, uh, when the loud sound was made, we got check engine, stop engine, or we didn't get a stop engine, but we did get a check engine light, and so right away, I mean, he had just started to pull away, so he pulled back over, shut the bus down per my instructions, and am I in? Oh, I'm not quite in. All right, so he shut the bus down per my instructions. We are just out of radio contact with the garage, at least in that bus. So since I was not behind the wheel, I was not operating the vehicle, I got my cell phone out and I called the dispatcher, said, hey, this is where I'm at. This is what's going on. I have a trainee with me. Uh, what do you want us to do? So they had me disconnect the battery because all of the big buses have a battery disconnect somewhere. All right, turn back around here. Oh, continue on this way. Got it. Anyhow, so continue. Disconnect the battery. Wait 30 seconds. Reconnect and then start the vehicle back up, and we'll go from there. All right. I mean, the sound that the bus's engine made, and all these buses were obviously diesel. This had a Cummins engine in it. It was one of those sounds where you just knew something bad had just happened in that engine, and it was not going to go. It was you knew that engine was cooked. But anyway, I followed dispatch's instructions. I kept them on the phone, reconnected the battery. I instructed the uh, trainee to turn it on and start the bus as normal, and I went back by the engine, and sure enough, it fired right up, and the sound was 10 times worse because I was right back there by the engine. I yelled up at the driver just to shut it down, and I told dispatch, no, this is no bueno. This is not going to work. And the dispatcher actually had heard it over the phone, and he even said, yeah, it sounds like that engine's toast. Uh, and he double checked where I was, and I confirmed. He asked me, and I went and I mean, he even said, at this point, the motor's done. But it does run and move under its own power, so go ahead and move it about 200 yards up the road to this one parking lot so you are at least not hindering traffic. I agreed. The trainee got the bus started, and honestly, it seemed like that it's like it was just terribly slow. It barely moved. Um, but maintenance came out. They took one. As soon as they fired up, they even said, "Yeah, this engine's cooked. I'm not sure what it did, but it did something pretty bad." So, turns out later, I ran into the mechanic that came out, and I asked him, "Hey, what happened? So what happened to that bus? Blah blah blah." He's like, "It blew, uh, it blew a hole in one piston, and it blew a small hole in one piston, and it actually blew apart a second. Like it completely blew the second two of the pistons apart. So it's like, well." It is what it is, but what sucked more was that bus we had it just went in service like 2 weeks prior. So he is like, yep, we're going to be having it towed up to the local Cummins place, and they're going to go ahead and put a new motor in it because, well, it's a warranty repair. Oh, come on. And it, it sucked. It really did. Okay, where oh, okay. This is an awkward. Okay, so I'm gonna have to go this way and then bring it around. I don't think it's gonna work. I'm just gonna fit. Alright, hazards on. And I'm gonna go out here so I can kind of see. Yeah, this is not a wise decision on my part. All right. 2 beeps. And then there you go. Put it in neutral. Kneel and doors. Perfect. Woo-wee. So that was a very long drive. I was not expecting it to take that long. Holy shit. Anyway, 45 minutes. If you guys are still here at the end of this video, you guys deserve a big salute. Thank you guys for watching this long. Please like, please subscribe, all that good fun stuff. Until next time, guys, have a good one.